Meanwhile, New York's strict new gun laws are facing another major challenge. There are some sheriffs who apparently are going to ignore them. Our next guest is among a half a dozen sheriffs who say they will not aggressively enforce the law, which bans guns in so-called sensitive areas like religious centers, state parks, subways, and even Times Square. This comes just days after a federal judge blocked a large portion of the law. Former Fulton County District Attorney and Sheriff Richard Giardino joins us right now. Sheriff, good morning to you.
Good morning, Steve. How are you?
I'm doing okay. First of all, explain which part of this new law that was rushed through the legislature, which part of it are you not going to enforce?
Well, we're going to use our discretion to not go on complaints that say, oh, my neighbor had a bulge on his side, we think he's got a gun, he's in the store. We're more concerned with the criminals who are killing people and injuring people every day on the streets. We have limited resources, we have limited money, and we're going to use that in the best capacity. So it's not refusing to enforce it, it's using our discretion, much like speeding. Somebody goes 57, we're not going to ticket them with a 55. With these, it's a new law. It unfairly targets law-abiding citizens who previously had carry concealed and could go into a store and a restaurant, and then on September 1st, all of a sudden, they could be charged with a felony.
Sure.
Clearly unfair.
Absolutely. And I would imagine, you know, unless people are hanging on the news, they might not know about the law change. And I know that that's one of your concerns as well.
That is. If you go into your barber shop on August 30th and get a haircut and your carry concealeds with you, it's not a problem. On September 1st, you become a felon. We are not going to go in and arrest people who may not be aware of the law. We're going to educate them. They also have requirements of this law that are currently in temporary restraint that want us to look at years worth of social media accounts, review those, and also want to know who you live with. A lot of that's in a temporary holding pattern after the federal judge's decision.
Sure. Sheriff, before the state legislature here in New York State came up with this law and passed the law, how many times did somebody from the legislature call you up and say, hey, Sheriff, you've been in law enforcement for a very long time. What do you think about it?
Steve, this is an example of what they did with bail reform, police reform, and criminal justice reform. There was no input from DAs, sheriffs, chiefs of police, from judges, from probation or parole officers. They set this up. In fact, the judicial Supreme Court judge's ruling was on June 23rd. On July 1st, they signed a new law without any hearings, without any input. And let me just, one fact is critical. In their papers, which they're asking for a stay from the stay, I want to read it, so I want to be accurate. They said that as the data confirms, more guns carried in more places by more people result in more crime, violence, and homicides. Well, in fact, the studies show that less than 1/6 of 1% of lawful gun owners ever use their gun in a crime. What the studies do show is 80% or more of violent acts in major cities are committed by gangs,
right,
and with guns. So that's who should be targeted. It's very frustrating for us because they do not ask us what's a good reform. A lot of us believe that bail should be reformed, but not in the way they did that. And you can see what's going on with that. I did have one more comment that's kind of related to this.
Sure.
One of the things that frustrates us in law enforcement is there's a group of individuals who condemn us. They call us pigs. They ambush us. They ambush police. They call us racists. And then they call 911. And our dispatchers don't ask what their race is, what their gender is,
right,
what their religion, or who they voted for. We say, what's your emergency? Where are you? And we'll send somebody. And police are doing that. We're probably the only profession that would take the abuse we take and then turn around and go do our jobs.
Well put.
So that's important.
Absolutely. I know you guys do that every day. He's a sheriff. His name is Richard Giardino. Sir, thank you very much for your service and getting up early today to tell us your story.
Thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
All right. I'm Steve Ducey.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.